Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Thanks for joining us. It's another episode of Aussie Tech Heads. This one comes to you just below the 400 mark. It's episode 399. So welcome. I'm Glenn, and we're joined by the other two rascals this week in the Aussie Tech Heads land. And I'm talking namely of William. We'll go to Will first. Hey, Will.
Hey, what
Hey.
did I do? Don't say my name. What?
Oh, what's
How we
going
doing,
on?
mate?
Yeah, good. What's going on with you this week? Anything exciting?
Nothing too major. You know, I didn't have to reinstall anything before the show for once, which is like,
It's always
for
a
me,
bonus.
that's some sort of minor miracle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a bonus. Good stuff. And Jace, how you going?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure, and you're welcome. What's been going on with you? Anything exciting? You look like you're in a bit
Just
of a...
getting ready to move down south where it's a bit colder and the weather changes hourly.
Yes.
Minutely.
So
Minutely.
you're all set up? You're employed and set up, or you're just going down winging
Not
it?
employed, no. I got a friend who lives down at Geelong and she's got a couple of spare bedrooms, so she said I can stay there for a couple of months while
Nice.
I'm doing my interviews and such.
Is that
So
how the...
Saturday morning, getting up early and driving down 10 hours.
Oh, this Saturday?
This Saturday morning.
And then you're there?
That's it. Yeah.
And,
Stay there for a couple of months applying and stuff. If I get something, come back up here quickly
Nice.
to just pack up all my crap and send it all down and then head back down again.
Nice. Now, is Geelong, is that how the locals say it? Or is-
No, you say it like that, you'll get shot before you get off the bus.
Geelong.
I'll have a return ticket to Geelong, please, bus driver.
Geelong.
It's not G-Bunger, you know.
All right.
Or Majirabar.
Oh, yes.
Manduraba.
Yeah, well, no, that's Siri. She can't say Majrabar. And I've never worked out how to tell Siri how to repronounce things. I can't work that out. But apparently,
It's called Android.
but
To
apparently you
say,
can.
I will replace you with an Android if you don't get it right in the future. You watch, it'll work miraculously from that point on.
Yeah, the GPS girl. I'm going to have words with her. All right, now the show, as always, brought to you by Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting, azhwebhosting.com.au. So jump on there and grab yourself a nice little plan. You know, they're pretty affordable from a decent plan, you know, from $7.95 a month. So that's all right if you sign up for a year. So that's good. All right, now we've got some stories, I think. Let's start off with this one.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, I always start, so let's
Are
continue
you
with
ready,
the
boys
tradition.
and girls? Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Then we'll begin. Thank you, Mrs. Whoever. Now, what's the name of that lady? Off Romper
Wendy or
Room?
something, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. That was it Miss
I
Helen?
refuse.
It's in a one
I
place.
hated Romper Room because they never said my name. I watched that show for years.
Yeah, I don't think they said my name either, unless I missed an episode. But yeah, Miss Helen or someone like that. I don't know. That's a long time ago, Will.
That.
That's a long.
It is.
Did you watch it, Jace?
We didn't really have Romper Room because we didn't get channel 3/9, whatever you call it. We just had Prime, 7, 8, and ABC.
Oh,
I think
right.
we had ABC and Channel O for the most part.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, I think it was on.
Back in my day, we had 2 channels and we were happy for it. That's all we needed.
We had the other ones, but that was when VHF came in. You had to get up and manually adjust the little knob thing until you found exactly the right frequency because it was before presets.
Yeah, it was the knob that went clunk 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 as you turned it, but then it also had a little fine tune,
Yeah.
push the little circular thing around like behind it.
Yeah, and you're sitting there watching TV with your hand off to the side, and you're sitting on one side of the screen, and you're just constantly adjusting it while you're watching it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you you've got a few years under your belt when you say, I mean, little fella had a little friend around today to play, and she was saying something about, she goes, I've got a TV in my room. And I said, how good is that? I said, what, a coloured one? And she looks at it and she goes,
what other kind is there, you idiot?
Yeah, she goes, yeah, a big one. Yeah. She had no idea what I was talking about. No idea at all.
You watch Back to the Future and Marty goes back in time and they're like, we just got a TV. Do you have a TV, Marty? Yeah, we got 3. Nobody's got 3 TVs.
You'll see it in the reruns. What's a rerun?
Yeah.
It's actually I got friends around at the moment, and she's got a daughter with her, and she's only I think her daughter's like 12 or 13, and we're watching MacGyver at the moment. And the start of the episode, they had a Walkman with a cassette and a VCR. You try and explain that to a 13-year-old?
No way.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy because what was it? Yeah, I don't know, something else. Yeah, it's just madness. Because I remember just thinking about Romper Room. I used to watch it when it was in black and white. We only had a black and white TV back then. But
you didn't have a choice. You could.
We had a Princess. I had a Princess TV for my VZ200.
Well, look, I'll tell you, just before the show, I was pretty scared we weren't going to make it tonight. Because I changed microphones around. I sort of tried to tweak a few things. I've reformatted the little Mac there and re-downloaded some software, the recording software. Try to just juice it up a bit and get it a bit more snappy and everything. And so with the mic, I changed mics and it wouldn't fit into this holder properly. So I thought, what can I put around that? So I thought, I got some bubble wrap. So I cut a bit of bubble wrap off and I put it around it and jammed it in there. So there's it's held in nice and stiff like that in the holder with bubble wrap. So I sort of said, yep, cool, I'm ready to go. And as I was walking out, I hear this pop. And I thought, that's the mixer. That sounded like the mixer. I thought, we're not going to make it.
You let the smoke out.
Yeah. But I'm looking over there. I'm over at the mixer. I'm smelling, going, going, oh, no, I can't smell nothing. And then I thought, it's one of those pops for plastic. One of the bubble wrap popped.
For people who don't know electronics very well, all electronics are just little packages of smoke, and if you let the smoke out, they stop working.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
like magic smoke.
Well, they stop popping once the smoke comes out. So, you got to get that smoke out, people. Get that smoke out. All right. Now, IBM's shock channel deal. How's this? They've struck a deal with Apple. Can you believe it? It's sort of it's the yin and the yang, isn't it? So IBM is to become an enterprise reseller for iPads and iPhones under an unexpected deal announced this week by CEO Tim Cook and IBM CEO. We know who the CEO of Apple is. Does anyone know who the CEO of IBM is?
Bob.
No.
Fred?
No.
Tony. How many guesses do we get?
Oh, well, you're going to need a few if you want me.
www.wikipedia.org. this.
Abercrombie. I don't know.
It's Ginny Rometty. Or Guinea?
Sure it is.
Guinea Rometty. Anyway, under the terms of the deal, IBM's mobile first division will provide enterprise sales and on-site support for iOS devices and applications in time for iOS 8. Hooray! And how IBM will handle everything from supply devices to activation management services for enterprise customers. Apple, in turn, will develop a new enterprise-grade support under its Apple Care Support program. So the two companies will also commit to developing over 100 enterprise apps specific to retail, healthcare, banking, travel, so blah, 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 blah. That's all going on. The deal does not mean that IBM will cease to resell other mobile devices such as those running Android. So that probably makes Google happy. I don't know. Now, this guy, Randall Cameron, National Sales Director for MSC, never heard of him, but anyway, he's out there. It won't make a mark in Australia because the market is very different here. Apple and the carriers have very strong relationships. In the US, Apple sold directly to government and enterprise, but in Australia, enterprise has gone through the carriers to buy Apple. But I don't know. Even though he says that, I reckon that a deal like this will sure to have some sort of impact on us. For sure. But it's it's a bit of a win. Who do you reckon is the biggest winner out of that? Will, any opinion? Don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
you're going, whatever.
It's one of
Thanks for that question.
Like whatever.
Well, it's like everything. It's going to take. Everything starts off nasty, but it all settles down. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ask me again next week after it's had a week.
All right. Well, while you're there, tell us something that you are passionate about.
Well, you see, no, I don't think I can tell you that story. I think that's not legal in some states. But I do have a story.
Good.
So, you got everybody knows the smart car. It's one of the, basically the smallest car. It's really high safety, made by Mercedes. That's the thing. Well, they've just released a new one. That's made by Mercedes, of course, made in Germany, of course. It's aimed to combat urban gridlock. It's a 2-seater hatch. It's shorter by about, I think it's about 2 foot shorter than the previous one. It comes out A grade on all the crash tests and things like that. It will do a U-turn in a single lane.
Yeah, right.
So
it's like my Cube.
Yeah, on a 1-lane road, it'll do a U-turn. It's the main reason I'm bringing it up is because the smart car's been around since 1998 and hasn't really changed much in that time. But this one here, it's so packed. Like they've basically taken every technology thing they've got and either shrunk it down to make it fit or added it into this thing. Like it's got some of the things that the $200,000 Mercedes have as standard.
Right.
I won't go into too much detail about all the stuff they've got, but it's got twin clutch automatic gearboxes, like an 8-speed gearbox and things like that. It's going to start at $12,000 AU drive away.
Yeah, right.
It's basically, if you're after a cheap car that's economical, it's going to go on sale at some point next year. It's a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, 900cc, so your rego is going to be nothing. It's 66 kilowatts, which is, about the same, I think, as the new Minis have, off the top of my head. 6-speed twin clutch automatic. It's 2.6. No, it's not. It's 2.4 meters long. The old one was 2.7.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good foot shorter.
How fast does it go? Did you say that? We need to know the important things.
And this is the part that I find fascinating. It weighs, with all this technology, with all the safety features, with all the new stuff they've added to it, weighs 800 kilos.
Wow.
So they haven't released the economy figures yet, but it's certainly, if you want to rely, because it's made by Mercedes, so you want reliable, you want good quality, amazingly cheap, $12,500, and a runaround car for around town.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, well, $12,000. You can see them selling a few. Yeah, well, that's good.
I always find it hilarious though when you're cruising down the highway and you come up behind one of those smart cars. You sort of look at you like, really, you bought that out here?
Yeah, I know. Take it home back to your Lego set, please.
As far as the small entry level car range goes, they're all 12 to 15 grand, and I think I'd spend the 12 or 13 grand on this instead of the 15 grand Great Wall or something like that. So
buy Cube, Will. They're good.
I love Cubes. Are awesome.
Yeah, they are. They're good. Mine's
Who are you
still
talking
going.
about? I got you onto a Cube. What are you telling me?
No, I know. Well, you didn't buy one. I bought one. And you're going,
I made you buy one. That's the same thing.
Yeah. All right, Jace, what have you been looking at this week?
Well, a group of influential US lawyers has an answer to the question of what should happen to Facebook, Yahoo, Gmail, and other online accounts when a person dies.
Ooh.
The Uniform Law Commission, whose members are appointed by state governments to help standardize state laws, was expected to endorse a plan to automatically give loved ones access to a deceased person's digital accounts unless otherwise specified in a will. To become law in a U.S. state, legislation would have to be adopted by the state's legislature. But if it does, designating such access could become an important tool in estate planning, allowing people to decide which accounts should die when they do. The plan is likely to frustrate some privacy advocates who say people shouldn't have to draft a will to protect sensitive information. This is something most people don't think of until they're faced with it. They have no idea what it is to be lost. Says Karen Williams, who sued Facebook for access to her 22-year-old son Lauren's account after he died in a 2005 motorcycle accident. The question of what to do with one's digital assets is as big as America's electronic footprint.
So what does happen to Facebook when someone dies? because I know a few people that have gone to the Great Blue Yonder, and their page is still.
You give your password to somebody, it just stays there. I mean, Google has got
inactivity. There's an inactivity thing you can report. You can say the page has and it goes into a lockdown status for a certain period of time. And then after that, if nobody requests an extension, it just gets deleted.
But
if you've got a Google account, you can set up right now. If I haven't logged into my account in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, it automatically emails access to a list of friends' email addresses that you specify in there, saying you can even put in an email. Hi, I'm dead. You can have access to my stuff. I trust you and stuff. See you on the other side. Bye.
Yeah, nice. Well, I get because this Facebook account that I know of this guy. His family that still post to it, and I thought, maybe that was keeping it alive. But I don't know. But it's like he's probably been gone.
I guess if you log in as him and post stuff, then it does. But if you're just posting,
I don't think anyone
account and putting stuff on his wall, it doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't think anyone. Yeah, in this particular instance, no one knows the password because they're not logging on as him. They're just posting to his wall. So I guess something like this will happen eventually. I would imagine. Anyway, That's a nice bright topic. Now,
That's all right. Anytime.
Something brighter. With the Microsoft. Look, I've got a couple of Microsoft stories here tonight. Microsoft frees 4.7 million PCs from the shackles of infection. It's got to be good. Microsoft said it has.
People stop using Internet Explorer, did they?
No.
Microsoft seized all their DNS domains and they couldn't log onto them anymore.
Microsoft said it had freed at least 4.7 million infected personal computers from control of cyber crooks. And apparently its most successful digital crime busting operation. So there you go. India, followed by Pakistan, Egypt, Brazil, Algeria, and Mexico have the highest or the largest number of infected machines. In the Richard, oh, here we go. Richard, I hate names, eh? Richard Domingo, I can't even begin. Richard D. Oh, no, his name, he's got two names. Richard Dominguez Bokovic. So Richard DB, Assistant General Counsel of the unit, said Microsoft would quickly provide government authorities and internet service providers around the world with the IP addresses of infected machines so they can help users remove the virus. Microsoft located the compromised PCs by by intercepting traffic headed to servers at Reno, Nevada-based Vital Works Internet Solutions. Okay, so which the software maker said criminals used to communicate with compromised PCs through free accounts on its noip.com services. I think we touched on this a bit last week.
Richard Dominguez Boscovich.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Yes.
Apparently.
The operation began, blah, blah, blah. So anyway.
I'm waiting for the next bit. The software known as...
Where does that say?
The operation, which began on June 30 under a federal court order, targeted malicious software known as...
known as the Bladabindi.
Bladabindi and Jinxus.
Jinxus. Well, I don't know. Bloody overseas stuff. Now, so anyway, so good on you, Microsoft, I suppose, even though that no IP affected me as well. I had a few no IP addresses, one for an IP camera, and the other one was for a bit of a connection to my little server I got here. And I went down and I couldn't connect, and I went, where? So there you go. Will, what else have you been doing?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm actually. This has been going around. It's nearly been a week now. Some of you guys may or may not know that Steven Spielberg is obviously an animal killer. You know, it's outrage that he had the hide to shoot this Triceratops in cold blood, and
oh dear,
you know, and there's bad. Thousands and thousands of complaints about it.
GoDaddy and Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly. You know, people are outraged. You know, disgraceful photos of recreational hunter happily posting next to a Triceratops he just slaughtered. Please share this so the world can name and shame this despicable man. Oh, and that had 10,000 likes and shares. You know, like So,
But, you know.
I don't even know what's wrong with this story.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, Steven Spielberg, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not watching any more of your movies again. You're an animal killer.
Right.
It's like, I'm sorry.
It's like
I don't even know.
He brought them back to life just to kill them.
Look, it's like, I'll tell you what it's like. I think, was it Hamish and Andy went to America and they walked down the street and they were asking Americans questions. And one of the questions that I remember stuck in my mind, they asked a slew of people, when was 9/11? And they're going, was it August the 5th? You know, like,
that's all right. They asked them. There was one there that they said, what was what was it? What's May? What month is May Day?
Oh, that'd be October. Maybe.
But it's just interesting because there's another story I was actually reading. I wasn't going to bring it up, but seeing as I stumbled across that Steven Spielberg one still getting traction, I thought I might as well. There's a story that's been released, a bit of a study really, and from the from Wellington, they've got a Victoria University in Wellington. They did a study on people on their reading behaviour, and they want to know, is the internet making us stupid?
Yes.
The answer is yes. It's a short answer. Now, we've got information, more information we've ever had, to more materials than we've ever been able to, basically all of human knowledge is now available on the internet. And yet people still want to win an Xbox from JB Hi-Fi if you like and share this post, and Bill Gates will give you $10,000. I mean,
yeah.
what is
Bill
with...
Gates is a pretty nice guy, isn't he?
I don't understand. Is it because we have so much information, people get themselves confused and they can't figure out what they actually read? Is it, or is it the fact that
now that we can see what actual people think and say more often, we can see how stupid they always were from the first place.
Well,
that's what I was going to say. Were these people always that stupid and they just used to hide in a corner? And now the internet's given them a way
how
to...
stupidity is everywhere you can see it.
I think going back to your question though, Will, is the internet making us stupid? I'd say it would have to be yes, because it's stopping it. It's like calculators at school, and I've got no idea why you're allowed calculators at school now, and we weren't back then, probably because they didn't exist.
I was in the transition period where we had to use them. We were not allowed to not use them.
But anyway, what my point is that the information is so readily available, we don't have to retain it. So we don't have to retain it because it's all online. So I think not retaining information, yes, you become stupider.
Part of the problem is people don't verify anything. They just go, I read it on the internet, so it must be true, because nobody would lie on there.
Well, and then prior to the internet, you had Photoshopped images were starting to become a big thing on billboards and stuff before the internet was a thing. And people assumed because there was a picture of it, it had to be real. Nobody understood this concept of Photoshop. But
that goes back just goes to show how your mind or the human brain works and how it's being conditioned, because you've grown up with a photo tells a photo tells no lies, and if it's in black and white, it's true. So, that's where it all is.
Not even video anymore. I mean, there was a thing posted last year where there was a picture of people who are at a park with their baby, and this big bird comes down and picks up the baby and starts flying off with it, and people attack it, and eventually it drops the baby a couple of feet to the ground and flies off, and it became a viral video. People like, oh my God, can you believe it? This giant bird has picked up. It's like, no, that was some art students who did a video for their end of term test
project. Yes.
I saw it on the internet, so it's real.
It's like this picture here. It was taken in the 1930s, and it's office workers going about their, coming out of the building or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But the storm over, look, somebody's a time traveler, they've gone back to 1930 and we caught them on their mobile phone.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. How many things are wrong with that sentence? Okay, time travel, possible or not irrelevant. The fact that you've gone back to 1930 and you're on a mobile phone that requires
a tower.
specific, I don't know, cell towers maybe. Somebody else to talk to perhaps.
Well, you see,
Probably got a flux capacitor in it.
Yeah. What happens? Didn't you watch Doctor Who when the doctor hooked up the mobile phone to the console, the TARDIS console, and then
that's right. It's actually you can ring him anywhere in
exactly.
That's actually one of the few episodes I have watched.
Yeah, there you go. Look, we've got all these things. I've got a Doctor Who story coming up. I've got a viral video coming up that we can all have a go at, and so to speak. We've got heaps of stuff coming up, and more Microsoft stuff. So look, who needs a turn? Jay, what's that you got there, Will?
I was going to say, just so you know, that's the first mobile phone made by Motorola.
I think that was the first human.
8000X.
Right.
So there you go. So that's actually what the first mobile phone looked like, along with its creator.
Yeah, the first human. All right. Okay, so all right, Jace, please.
Well, we know at some point in the future, Microsoft will bring the start menu back to Windows. What we don't know is when, but some leaked screenshots of a future version of Windows might offer a clue. Screenshots allegedly showing the new start menu have leaked on an internet forum. The menu looks similar, but not identical to what Microsoft showed publicly at its Build Developer Conference in April. The size and format of the menu is the same, but the tiles themselves are different, suggesting the image was generated by an early build of the new Windows. Another image shows a Windows Modern or Metro settings menu running within a window on the desktop. While Microsoft said the update would allow modern apps to run within individual windows, the settings image suggests users will have the option to minimize the whole modern experience. That should please many users who have resisted upgrading to Windows 8 or 8.1 because of distaste for the modern interface. And the question is, are these screenshots from an update to Windows 8.1 or the next major version, Windows 9? Judging from the discussion thread around where the images came from and subsequent commentary, the consensus is the images are from Windows 9, which is also said to be called Threshold, which probably won't arrive until early 2015 at the earliest. Although the watermark on the images reads Windows 8.1 Pro, it's fairly common for early builds of a new major update to include marks of the previous version.
We are on the edge of the threshold. Now, can I just go back to just the previous story there? I just looked in the lounge, and we do have a live lounge. People sit in the lounge and while the show goes live. And you can find the lounge at aussietechheads.com.au/live. And we do broadcast live, actually. So how do you like that? It's on Thursday nights at 7:30. So jump on if you have the chance. And I was just looking in the chat room here. I used to use a slide rule at school. Well, look, PA, I don't even know what a slide rule is. So,
you kidding, aren't you?
I don't know what one is.
I know what a slide rule is.
Oh, that's my black and white TV. What? That is my black and white TV. Anyway, so sorry, PA. I'll Google it after the show, and I'll have a look. I'll educate myself.
You're not going to Bing it?
No, I don't like Bing.
Does anybody Bing anything?
Is Bing still around? Has anybody checked to see if it's still a thing? Well, is Bing still a thing?
Bing is still around because look, I had a story. Oh, did I? Oh, I might have just brushed it because I thought.
For those of you watching at home, while Glenn's trying to find his story, there's this picture of slide rules for you.
Oh, okay, one of those things. Yeah, right.
There was either. There was a couple of different styles. That yellow one there's like the one I used to have, and I've got one of these round ones as well.
Right.
It's actually on the shelf behind me, which is, I think, quite sad.
The audio listeners, thank you greatly for that screenshot, Will.
Hey, they've got Google. They know how it works. So off you go. Go on, getting your PDA out of your pocket. No more going to sleep.
I'll watch the show on YouTube.
Now,
after you've listened to it and gone, what are they talking about?
Now, what I was going to say about Bing was they've joined Google because they've got to also comply with this EU ruling, the take me down, I don't want to be searched thing that's going on in the EU. So Bing have also put a form up online as well. But I thought that was, I didn't put that story in because it was just, who cares? That's in the EU, so who cares?
I'm sorry, I stopped listening.
Yeah, exactly. All right. All right, what's this one here? Yes.
That's your story.
Oh, I'm going on to the offbeat ones here. But anyway, we'll go to this one. How's this? Internet cancellation horror story. Now, this guy in the US, he was actually I think, an AOL journalist. He was 20 minutes on the phone, or was he experienced 20 minutes ordeal? It was a 20-minute call to cancel his Comcast account. Now, this audio went viral because he recorded the last 8 minutes. So he suffered 12 minutes and he thought, this is a joke. So he started recording it. Now, look, I've got a bit here. We'll play it because this reminds me, not that I've gone through probably as much pain as this guy.
Actually, by the end of next week, you're going to be 105 megabits per second for your internet. Astound will not give you that speed.
Okay, we'd like to disconnect. We'd like to disconnect, please.
Okay, so why is it that you don't want the faster speed? Help me understand why you don't want faster internet.
Help me understand why you can't just disconnect us.
Because my job is to have a conversation with you about keeping your service, about finding out why it is that you're looking to cancel the service.
I don't understand. Is this
if
for
you don't want to
like?
talk to me, you can definitely go into the Comcast store and disconnect your service there. Okay,
We're just asking for you to
kill two birds with one stone. You got to return that cable card to the store anyways.
We're actually going to just mail the cable card in, but if you can just please cancel our service, that would be great. That's all. That is all we want.
We're actually not able to return a cable card by mail.
Then I will send someone like a TaskRabbit to go return the cable card for us. I don't personally intend to go return the cable card. That's why.
So he goes on, and I'm just trying there just to try and turn that down. It's from, where's that from? SoundCloud. They haven't got a volume button.
That sounds exactly like the trouble I went through with,
there it is.
With Spintel.
Yeah, right. Well, this went on and on and on. And as I said, he recorded the last 8 minutes of it. So
help you out, get some information. We'll just bypass all this information. I'll go ahead and disconnect this service. Okay?
Fantastic.
I mean, it's really a shame to see you go to something that can't give you what we can.
Okay, well, if that winds up being the case, then we will call you guys back up and we'll reconnect.
I mean, you're not going to get the 100,000 free on-demand titles. You're not going to get 105 megabits per second for your internet. Guaranteed speed at 105. Okay? I mean, no one else can guarantee their speeds like we can. Okay? So, I mean, we can definitely transfer this over to your new address and get you a lower rate. I could save you almost more than $100 per month.
Anyway, it's just so painful. But anyway, so even at the end, I'm not too sure if the guy got it cancelled or not. But if you want to listen to the whole thing, there's a link in the show notes, and you can find those at aussietechheads.com.au /podcast.
And it's Ryan Block. He knows what he's talking about. He was the editor for Engadget and then founded GDGT, so he knows all about technology.
And that's the thing. I don't understand what the deal is with telcos. I had the same problem. They refused to cancel my service for 3 months. They refused to cancel my service. I stopped paying them, and then strangely they wanted money. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I haven't used your service for 3 months. I'm not paying for it. If you had have cancelled it 3 months ago, like you're told to do, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it's hopeless. It's but apparently he was he said at the end, he was just saying, I don't have to tell you why I want this cancelled. I don't have to tell you. You just cancel it.
That's right.
I don't have to tell you anything. All right.
Yep.
What else you got, Will? Anything exciting?
Well, there's there's a what's it called? A thing. It's a European Space Agency probe, the Rosetta, nears its 10-year trip. It was on a 10-year trip to meet up with a comet. It's covered nearly 7 billion kilometers. It was launched on March 2nd, 2004. It's been in pursuit of the comet 67P, or some Russian name. Next month, it's scheduled to fill its mission, which is the first in history to both orbit and land on a comet. From what they can say, basically, from what they've been able to gather, the comet looks basically like kidney sort of shaped. And I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name, but for those of you watching, there it is there.
Ask Glenn, he's really good at pronouncing names.
And so basically it's the kind of surprise of some. I mean, it was designed to do this, but in some respects they're quite surprised that it has actually managed to do this. It's currently less than 20,000 k's from the comet, and on August 6th it will be 100 kilometres away. At that point, that's when they will figure out exactly how they're going to get it onto the comet, because that's sort of orbiting it is one thing, landing on it's something entirely different.
Oh yeah. How fast would that be going?
I mean, that's the third. Actually, 135,000 kilometers per hour.
Didn't
Easy.
Bruce Willis land on a comet?
Yeah. If he can do
I
it,
saw that in a movie.
yeah. If Bruce can do it, anyone can do it.
Can't be that hard.
So basically, they're saying we know very little about the actual service properties. Only when we get there, we'll be able to explore it and know what it's made of and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's if you wondered how much the work costs, it's officially said to be 1.3 thousand million euro.
Wow. What,
all?
isn't 1,000 million like a billion anyway or something?
Keep it half the price.
Why 1,000 million?
That's what they said. They said it's 1.3 thousand million.
Wow.
Which I thought that was isn't that a billion or something? Yeah, you're
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't want to go 1.0003 billion. Maybe because that sounded like it was nothing. But anyway, I don't know.
It's one of those things. It's quite monumental if you think about it, because that can only happen once every, what has it been, 10 years? So it's not something that we probably didn't even hear about the launch of this thing, because it was going to be 10 years before it did its mission. So it's quite fascinating. The amount of future proofing and forward planning you would have to do, you know.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
quite amazing.
That's right. Now, do you have a rash? If you have,
yeah, I borrowed a friend's iPad once.
yeah, Warlock, Jason, might have the answer for you. Jace, what's the answer?
If you've got an unexplained rash, check your iPad. It turns out the popular tablet computer contains common allergy-inducing metals. Recent reports in medical journals detail nickel allergies from a variety of personal electronic devices, including laptops and mobile phones. But it was an Apple iPad that caused an itchy body rash in an 11-year-old boy recently treated at San Diego, California hospital, according to a report. Nickel rashes aren't life-threatening, but they can be very uncomfortable, and they may require treatment with steroids and antibiotics if the skin eruptions become infected. The boy had a common skin condition that causes scaly patches, but he developed a different rash all over his body that didn't respond to usual treatment. Skin testing showed he had a nickel allergy, and doctors traced it to an iPad his family had bought in 2010. Doctors tested the device and detected a chemical compound found in nickel in the iPad's outside coating. He used the iPad daily, she said. He got better after putting in a protective case. Whether all iPad models and other Apple devices contain nickel is uncertain. Apple spokesman Chris Gaither said the company had no comment. They had the same problem with the Fitbit Flex, the new ones.
That's right.
Were getting a terrible rash.
They were, weren't they?
They think it's from nickel as well.
Yeah, okay, right. Did they put the iPad in a protective pouch or him?
Case. Yeah. Bubble boy.
Yeah, Bubble boy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cheapest, that's a cheap metal trick. I mean, you look at the cheap watches and things like that, they'll give rashes to a lot of people. I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest, that I would have expected, if anything, it would be a Chinese tablet or something. You wouldn't really expect it to be the iPad, but there you go.
Hey, there you
iPad's
go.
made in China, isn't it?
Well, true. That's not quite what I was getting at. Yeah, okay.
Must be something in the water over there or something. Now, look, here's a bit of an offbeat story. I don't know if should we do this now? We might change it. We might save it till last, I think.
So you want to say that until last? You know how I've got this thing for gadgets, and last week I did the ones that were voted most likely to be useful gadgets.
Yeah.
Well, there's some that are out now, or they're either out now or they're coming out very soon, that are sort of in the same sort of genre, I suppose. Things that people have actually got to the point where they can develop them and release them. The question is, why really do we need them? Okay, so the first one, the umbrella that forecasts the weather. So basically, it's the ambient umbrella communicates with its owner through a series of patented blue lights that indicate if it forecasts calls for rain. Armed with a zip code and wireless receiver, and the handle of the umbrella connects to AccuWeather and then glows and pulses a gentle blue light if the weather looks like rain. It's battery powered and it's on the market for $225.
But doesn't help if it's just flashing in the umbrella basket, does it? When you're down those shops.
That's it. Because it's so hard to look out the window.
Yes.
This is another one here. This is designed for uni students and people in like New York apartments and things like that are basically completely restricted for space. It's a 200 square foot, which is, what's that, about 80 odd square meter. MIT designed a micro apartment called the City Home, transforms to a 15 by 15 foot, I'm assuming, space. So that's what, a 3 meter by 3 meter space. It can transform into exercise space, a lounge, a study, a kitchen, and a sleeping area, all in the same.
Wow.
All in the same thing. It's like a giant fold-up cupboard. It's wall-mounted devices. You pick the time of day, and the room morphs into the space you want.
Wow. Wow. Nice.
They're currently seeking funding for its development, but yeah, it's basically a modular. Yeah, pretty much.
Wasn't there
modular?
Wasn't there a guy in Sydney offering some sort of compact?
Well, that was an actual building.
Oh, right.
This is something like if you've got a loft apartment, for example, this goes into there and extends what you've already got.
Oh, I see. Oh,
so it's a little bit similar, but a little bit different. The Amazon trash sounds creepy, but it could save that dreaded weekend supermarket trip. Basically, it has a barcode scanner, and everything you throw in the bin, it barcodes. So it reorders it for you. Nice. And they recommend using it in conjunction with the fridge that does the same sort of thing, and the cupboard that they also have that does the same sort of thing.
But you'd have to swipe it. You know, like when you toss stuff out, it might not just automatically pick up the barcode. That's it.
You can't just throw it in the bin. But I mean, what happens if you get a mate brings a carton of beer around for the weekend and throws them all in the bin? So next week it orders you 2 cartons of beer because it thinks you've been through twice as much.
What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing. But after 3 or 4 weeks, it could be a problem. You get 7 cartons of beer, then 9, then 14 cartons.
Increase your intake, Will.
Oh dear! But they also they work on a second prototype that they're developing, picks on your eating habits, and it says things like 3rd box of Oreos this week, hey?
Wow. Wow.
Put it down, fatty.
You don't need that. There's this is a picture frame that every time somebody looks or comments, or whether it's on Facebook or Google or wherever you've got pictures, or if they actually look at the photo frame as well in your house, it glows and does all warm, fuzzy things.
Are you sure you want to eat that bull's testicle?
Yes, why not? Why wouldn't you?
I've been watching Hamish and Andy. Yeah.
Yeah. A bike that pedals for you. This is actually out at the moment. It's the Copenhagen wheel.
It's a motorbike.
Which was developed in Copenhagen in 2009 by the MIT students. That red bit there you can see is actually that is a self-contained motor and battery pack.
Nice.
It clips onto any existing bike. It transforms, into an electric hybrid, basically. So it does all the work for you, because that's why you buy a bike, so you haven't got a pedal. They've been available for a while. They're about $800, and as I said, they're multi-fit, so you can, if you upgrade bikes, you can take it with you.
It's a Mac Mini.
This is this is another variation. There's been a couple of these devices. This one's what's this one called? It's a pedometer-sized camera called the Narrative Clip. Attaches to your jacket or shirt or something like that, or necklace. It records high-resolution geotagged images every 30 seconds automatically for the rest of your life. There's a few different variations on this. I guess if you really like taking photos, or you really want to know exactly what you've done with your life, it's probably not a bad idea. This one's $280. I have seen them cheaper. There's some I've seen for about $80 or $90. At the end of the day, you come home, throw it in the dock, and it puts it all. It's a subscription service. This is $280 a year. And that covers the online storage and the cataloging and everything that goes with it as well.
Yeah, all right.
But this is the one I really wanted to get to, and I think this is a fantastic idea, and I'm honestly surprised it's taken someone so long to get to. It's a onesie for your baby, and what it actually does is it has a heart rate monitor. It has a breathing monitor and a skin temperature, body position, respiration, sleep patterns, and activity levels. All transmitted in real time over your Wi-Fi network. It also includes a microphone, so you can hear make sure everything's right in there.
Yeah, nice.
It obviously monitors, so you haven't got to go in and wake them up every 5 minutes to see if they're sleeping or not. It's $300, but it includes 3 onesies in whatever size you choose. You can pick them up at Babies R Us, or you can order them online. There's a few different places you can get them. But I think it's a fantastic idea. There's a lot of different variations on that. Yeah. It's better than a baby monitor, because the baby monitor you can only hear if they're crying. Basically, that's about all you can hear.
That's right.
If there's another crying, it might be a bigger problem than...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas this thing monitors everything. I think it's a fantastic use of technology that, in all honesty, has taken a lot longer to develop than I would have thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. All right, good one, Will. Thank you very much. Now, let's go. Jace, have you got anything else?
Alrighty. Welcome back. Problem fixed. Okay. Now, let's... what are we going to do now? We're nearing the end of the show. Oh, Jason's popped another one in there. He just pops stories in as he flittles around. Well, let's do...
There's
do you want to do that one?
there as well that I thought you might want to play on the stream as well.
All right. Well, let me... will you tell us a bit of... Can you tell us a bit about... Oh, where's the video? Hang on. It's not coming.
It says Smell-O-Vision users insert nose tubes now. Futurama is back with a brand new look, sort of. Vimeo and Behance user Alexei Zakharov has created a stunning 3D version of New York in the 31st millennium.
New York?
With fantastic references to the tube transport system, Mom's Friendly Robot Company, and even a few inconspicuous Slurm advertisements thrown in for good measure. The only thing this video is missing is a certain special shiny metal ass. And good news, everyone. Good news, everyone. Zakharov didn't stop at the skyline. Another video reveals the artist's hyper-realistic version of the Planet Express ship, crew not included. They've got a moving in 3D there.
There's another one.
Sweet.
That looks all right, doesn't it? Looks good.
Realistic instead of cartoony. I mean, the cartoon got a lot of 3D-ishness in it, but is actually rendered.
All right. I'll tell you something that's also 3D. There's a... Oh, do we do this? No, we'll save that one. That's got to be the last one. No, we've got a 3D story coming up, but I'll do that last. But next one I want to do is... look, I'll tell you who'd be all over this. It'd be Warlocky. Doctor Who, unfinished Doctor Who episodes have leaked online. Can you believe it? The drama has been ruined. Footage from the new series of Doctor Who... You what?
Hate them for releasing it.
Who? The releases?
Guys who in the US who leaked the video to the internet so that you can watch season 9 without...
the whole lot.
Hang on.
You can't watch the whole lot.
You haven't got to watch it.
No, but they're going to have people posting information about it all over the place. So you just got to be careful.
Yeah, but you can't... you can't watch them, though. I don't think the episodes are online, are they?
I think that was the thing. Either the episodes or the stories were.
I only heard that the first episode was leaked online, but I could be wrong. Now, hang on.
You're the expert.
Well, you know what I read, Jace. Now I'm just trying to do something here.
It says last week a set of scripts for the program marked private and confidential was leaked online. So a set of scripts is more than one, and
yeah, I think the first 5 stories, scripts were leaked, and the first episode was leaked. But however, I've got a screenshot of the first episode because apparently it's hard to find. But you know, if you're into that sort of stuff, I'm sure you'll find it. But like, I don't want to watch it, to tell you the truth, because it spoils everything. But look, I'm just trying to get this photo back up because I've had a little bit of a restart issue here. Here we go. So, but it's got it's got watermarks and crap all over it, so it's no good anyway. But anyway, the incomplete material was in black and white, missing special effects and heavily watermarked. BBC Worldwide said the breach was caused by a BBC office in the US and urged fans not to use the material. Last week, a set of scripts also from the program marked private and confidential were leaked online as well. So there you go. So yeah, so it looks like black and white. Like seriously, why would you want to spoil your fun with black and white? But anyway, I suppose the show's not as important to some as it is to others, so I guess that's what people do. Okay.
Didn't you read the scripts? They're actually setting it back in 1950 again.
That's why it's in black and white.
It's in black and white.
That's good. Maybe that little
it's
girl...
even got the original first Dr. William Hartnell.
Yeah, that's it.
Back from the dead.
Remember that story that was around, it must have been an April Fool's Day a little while ago, and it was all about the BBC had recovered every single episode of the Lost Doctor Who series because we were receiving the bounce backs of all the transmitted signals from outer space.
Yeah, I did that for a story.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of people fell for it.
Oh, hoped and prayed that it was going to be right.
I couldn't have mentioned the date, and I think I mentioned the date about 6 times. I couldn't have done it anymore.
Yeah, it was a good story. Yeah, I liked it. If only it was true. If only it was right. All right, let's get this story out. Is everyone finished? Or you got any more, Will?
No, I'm done. I've got nothing exciting.
All right, well, let's talk about this artist in Japan has been arrested because she has created a 3D model of her vagina. And she is a Tokyo-based artist Megumi Igarashi. She was arrested on Saturday.
Picking these stories.
I know. She was arrested on Saturday for sending data that could be used to create 3D models of her vagina. The obscene data was sent. It's obscene data was sent after Igarashi completed a crowdfunding campaign with the goal of building a boat in the shape of her vagina. There it is. That is, well, I don't understand it. Police spoke.
I've got so many questions and no answers.
A police spokeswoman told the AFP news agency she had distributed data that could create an obscene shape. On her website, Mrs. Igarashi says she has made several pieces of art based on her genitals using silicone mold, saying she wants to make vaginas more casual and pop. The vagina has been such a...
How do you make one pop? I've never heard him do that before.
There's a couple of lines there, but I will refrain. The vagina has been such a taboo in Japanese society, it has been thought to be obscene, while penises are regarded as part of pop culture. So there you
That's
go.
where they paramount pixelated in.
That's
all
where the
the
pop comes from.
40 videos that I've heard so much about, but have never actually watched.
Apparently, they're on the internet somewhere.
But
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like this is rubbish. Like, look, we've got a picture here of the boat.
I don't know why she should have made a submarine or something.
Well, we've got a picture here of the boat, and like, unless you were told what it was, you're not going to know what it is.
I don't hardly recognise it as a boat.
If you did her breast, would it be called a motorboat?
Well,
That'd be a catamaran, twin hull cat.
but I mean, like, I think where does it, like, Japanese, they make all these shows that are violent and all this, people's heads getting chopped off, the samurais and all this.
All right, violence is okay.
It seems to be that's how it is
Women
around the world.
are not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. But anyway, I thought, look, the only reason I bring it up, and you go, well, where's the tech angle, was because it's 3D printing. So she sends you and it went viral.
I mean, gone are the days where you send slightly obscure photos through the chemist to get them developed. I mean, we've moved on from that now, haven't we?
People complain about kids sexting. This is the next level.
Yes. Oh, I do. Oh, I have a story about sexting as well. Now, this is another crazy
Your
one.
own flashlight from it, eh?
Yeah, well, this is another one. On Wednesday, the Washington Post reported there's this case of a 17-year-old from Manassas, Virginia, who is facing felony charges for manufacturing, possessing child pornography after allegedly texting nude images of himself to his 15-year-old girlfriend. Okay, you can understand that. I guess that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but they're if both of them are underage, I think that's what happens. But anyway,
depends on the state. Yeah.
This is where it gets weird, and this one's also gone viral, and with a lot of hate along with it, because according to the boy's defense attorney, Jessica Foster, prosecutors in the Washington area, Prince William County, want to bolster their case by taking photos of the suspect's aroused penis and comparing it to the texted image using special software. Can you believe that? She says
It'd be hardware, wouldn't it?
She says the prosecutors have plans if the teen does not willingly comply. We just take him down to the hospital, give him a shot, and then take the pictures that we need.
Shouldn't you give the pictures and take a shot? I don't know.
Are they serious? That's out of... This is in America. This is Virginia.
No.
That's out of control.
There is a saying, and I think it's really appropriate here. Only in America.
Yes, only in America. Like, if you're the judge on that, you'd go, you people, just go home. Go home. Like,
yeah, get out of my courtroom, take your penis with you, and don't come back.
Like, don't go and get a photo of it and compare it. I don't want to see any of it. Prove it in another means, and we'll hear it. But if not, go home and go to sleep. Get get a hold of it.
Yeah, that's the thing about their laws over there, though. If one of the party is underage, then it's instantly child pornography, no matter what, and that goes on that person's record for the rest of their life as they're a pedophile or child pornographer,
right.
even if it's like two 13-year-olds or two 15-year-olds,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's
They don't
no,
have they're all like zero tolerance for everything.
they're so badly written. The laws are so badly written they make. Well, actually, no, ours still make them look better. But it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but the laws
They
might
have problems over there where teachers will take away kids' insulin or their asthma puffer because that's medicine, and the
Yeah.
teachers are the only ones who's allowed to administer medicine. So kids die from an asthma attack or whatever
Yeah.
because the
I was
teacher
about to say
be
that.
contacted. Why? Because they have zero tolerance and no exceptions whatsoever for anybody, and these are the problems.
But I think in these situations, like we'd say with this one, for instance, that the DPP or similar, or the authority who's in charge of everything over there who wants to prosecute, surely they got to have a will to prosecute. Like everyone knows there's archaic laws around. Like everyone knows that. But
Yeah, but the problem is the Americans love enforcing them. They take pride in the fact their laws are useless. Then they enforce every single one of them. I mean, unfortunately, Australia's going the same way now. But
All the stuff they do to women.
if you've ever watched Judge Judy or Bob Brown or whatever his name is, some of those, it's like, really? The guy, like, broke a plastic cup off the cupboard and you're suing for emotional damage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was my favourite plastic cup. I can't survive.
He had an emotional attachment. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of another week. So how do you like that? So thanks, Will. Go and find and make sure your car's all right. Make sure the alarm has stopped. And
I'm actually
good.
installing a new
Still
alarm
there?
on the weekend anyway. So as long as it's still there till the weekend when I put the new alarm in. So if it gets stolen now, the alarm's sitting in the back seat, so it's probably not super useful at this point.
all right. So all right then, Will. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next week. I would imagine.
Hopefully.
If everything goes well with your
Yeah.
PC. And Jace, will we be seeing you next week, or you'll be in Melbourne?
Fingers crossed. I hope so. And don't forget to check out our Facebook for our free apps.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Thank you. So we'll see you next week. We will, won't we? You're in Melbourne, but we hope to see you. Okay, good stuff. All right, and don't forget our free apps on Facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, where Jace will put up an Android app and I'll put up an iOS one if we think that there's the good one of the day to be shared.
And if you just can't help yourself and you need to get more of myself and Warlock, because that's the kind of people we are, you can go to obsidianloft.com and find us there as well.
All right. And also, what else is there? There's the Aussie Tech Radio. So AussieTechRadio.com. Go and check that page out. It'll tell you how to stream Aussie Tech Radio 24/7. So new shows every Friday. Then they play for a week. So there's a few shows there. So pretty much, every time you tune in, you're not going to get the same thing twice. So it's a good way of finding out what else is around and all that sort of stuff. So, okay. Alrighty. So, well done. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for the lounge. Hope you had a nice time in there. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Bye-bye for now. Ta-da.
See you next time, guys.